Hey guys, Chris here. So my last video, I talked about why I bought this, my 2018 Volvo XC90 T8 Inscription 8 hours away. And that video was quite popular with you guys, got a lot of views in a very short time. If you haven't seen that video, please click the link up there in the right corner. But that made me want to make this video, my top 12 tips for buying a new car and getting the best price, because I've done this a couple of times now, actually 4 times now in the last 2 years, and I want to give you guys my top tips for getting a car for the best price possible. So my first tip is you want to separate the buying and the test driving process, and your researching process, gathering information about the car. You want to do those things separately. So you don't want to, be out buying the car when you're out test driving and doing your research. You want to do that first. Look at the car, get to know the trim lines, the equipment, the price, and how the car drives and how the car is. And then you want to go out and, do the buying process later. So before you go buying, do all that of your research first. So my second tip is know the true price of the product, and this goes towards your your researching process. Know how much the car should cost, compared to the floor price, and what you can get it for online. What's the true price of the car, so what's actually a good price, so you don't take the dealer's information, the seller's information at face value. You want to know that in advance. Is $45,000 for this car, spec like this, with this equipment and in this color, is that a good price, or is that an average price, or are they asking above sticker? So once you've found your car and it has a price, ask for a better price. Asking for a better price might just get you some money off the car, and a lot of people don't find that, are not comfortable with asking for a better price. But just you're doing it once every 3 years, once every 5 years, once every 10 years, once when you buy a new car. Ask for a better price, because the worst thing that can happen is, in my experience, is that you get some money off, and some money off is better than no money off at all. Number 4 is haggle, and I know this isn't for everybody, but I love to haggle, because buying anything, you can haggle on almost any product, except milk in the store. You can haggle on anything, and in my experience, haggling does pay off, because you as the consumer, you as the buyer, you as the customer, you with the money, you have all the power. And just haggle, ask for a better price, ask for just a little more off, as to get an option for free, or an option at a rebated price. Haggle, haggle, haggle. The worst thing you can get while haggling is a better price, and well, you want to get as good a price as possible. So once you've done those things, number 5, the 5th thing to do is go out, leave that dealer, and go to a different dealer and get another price from there. So do the same thing, and do this a couple of times. Do it 2 times, do it 3 times, as many times as you want to do this. Go out and get multiple offers, because once you get multiple offers, you get to know the process a bit better, and you'll see that some dealers will give you better prices than other dealers. You might not get as good as price as you got as your first dealer, but chances are you'll get a better price than at your first dealer. And well, getting a better price, that's what this video is about. So go out and get multiple offers. So once you've got multiple offers, you'll get to know how much these dealers can move down in price. How much of a profit margin do they really need, and how willing are they to sell their product. So once you've got 2 or 3 or 4 different prices, ask them if they have a car in stock that you can get for an even better price, because chances are dealers with stock and inventory, they want to move the inventory and the cars they have in stock quicker than a car you want to order. So this might be very different from different countries. I know in the US, dealers work different than here in Europe. Usually in Europe, dealers don't stock large inventories. Most cars are made by order, and you have more options on cars. But in the US, cars are often sold, especially, you know, cheaper cars. This isn't as true for luxury cars, but it is still true. Dealers stock more cars, and that might work in your favor or in your disfavor. But dealers in Europe also stock cars. They might have cars, you know, coming in from stock, or they might, you know, be a chain of dealers, and they might have, you know, a car in stock at a different dealer. So always ask for cars in stock, and if you can get a better price on something they have in stock, but just be aware the car they have in stock might not just be identical to the specific car you want. So you have to be flexible, you know, in color choice and in equipment. But if you can be flexible, if you can, you know, buy a car in stock, you can get an even better price. So tip number 7 is buy at the end of the year, you know, like the last week before New Year's, because dealers, they have budgets, you know, they have numbers of sold cars they want to reach. They want to better the last year and the year before that. And sometimes when they hit a certain number of cars, they get a certain kickback, or they can get awards. So they have a lot of incentive to give you an even better price at the end of the year. So an example of this is when we bought our 2 Audis now. I bought them here at my local dealer, but there was a dealer about 14 hours away who were battling to become the dealer in Norway with the most sold Audis, and they were willing to give a really good price. But they were 14 hours away. I didn't know the dealer, so I didn't want to do business with them. But if I lived in that region and I knew that dealer, and I could, you know, talk to them and pick up the car there, because, you know, logistically it would just be a total nightmare, I might just have bought the car there and gotten an even better deal than what we got. So be willing to buy a car at the end of the year, at the end of a model year, to get an even better price, because dealers are really looking to get rid of cars, and especially cars in stock. Tip number 8 is buy a car at the end of a model cycle. So this won't apply for people wanting the newest or are set on a specific model. But if you like a model, take for instance the Volvo S60 V60, which Volvo just showed the new V60 like 2 weeks ago. You can probably get great deals on the outgoing model now this year in 2018. They'll be throwing those cars after people and giving you a lot of equipment for very good prices. So if you're not too picky on the model year, buy a car at the end of a model cycle, because you can get great discounts. And the end of model cycles are usually the cars with the best reliability, because they've, you know, worked out all the kinks and all the sicknesses and all the faults have just been totally worked out, and those are most likely the most reliable year of production of a specific model. Tip number 9 is take your time. Don't be in a hurry. Don't make a quick decision based on feelings. You know, go through all these tips and take your time. Don't rush it. You want to make rational decisions, so just take your time. Tip number 10 is be willing to walk from a deal. Remember, you as the consumer, you as the buyer, you as the customer, you have all the power, because it's up to you if you want to spend your money at that dealership or not. It's up to you if you want to buy that car or not. So don't get pressured into doing something you don't want to do. Be willing to walk and let the dealer know that your time is very precious, your money is very precious, and if the deal isn't good enough, you'll just walk right out of there. So tip number 11, and I want to talk about this. This is a whole nother video, because this is something I have strong opinions about and a lot of experiences with, and this is also a pro tip for you guys. So I'll probably make this video hopefully in a few weeks time, but that's leasing versus financing versus buying with cash. Know your options, know what they cost, because sometimes leasing is cheaper than financing, sometimes financing is cheaper than leasing, and sometimes leasing is cheaper than buying cash, and vice versa. So know the prices and know the different ways to purchase a car. Tip number 12, last tip and pro tip. Once you've gone through all 11 processes, you would have spent a lot of time, and you know the product, you know the seller, you know the prices very good, and you know when to spot a good deal when somebody's giving you a good deal. So once you get a good deal or the deal you want, be ready to make a deal quickly. You don't want to waste any more time, your time or the dealer's time, because you want to hit the sweet spot and make a deal quickly when you get the good deal, because this might be, you know, leasing with a low interest. This might be, you know, a special offer with getting, I don't know, navigation for free for a specific time period that you might not get, you know, in a month's time. So once you know these different deals and what's the good deal, be ready to make a deal quickly. So those are my 12 top tips for getting the best price for your new car. And this might vary from country to country. I know buying a car in Norway is different than buying a car in the UK, and buying a car in the UK is different from buying a car in the US. But these rules, you know, usually apply. So did I miss something? Is there another pro tip that you guys think that I missed out on? Something you think is more important than the tips I gave here? Let me know in the comments down below. And if you like this video, please drop me a thumbs up down below. And for more car content and more videos like this, please subscribe. See you guys later and goodbye.